about you, but I'm always looking for a scrappy quilt block that's easy to make, fun to make, and has a really cool impact. And today we're gonna do that. We're gonna make a scrappy log cabin block. Very simple block. It's 12.5 inches unfinished before it's sewn into a quilt, or 12 inches finished. So it's a nice big block too, and it'll use up those scraps. Also, it'll use any 2.5 inch strips that you might have left over from jelly rolls, but you can also use scraps. I have a few samples made up. I made a spring one, which you can see here, with all kinds of brights, and I'll talk about picking fabric and how we do that and all that stuff. I have a fall one here. Here, I'll turn it around this way. Here's a Christmas one, all scraps. There's this one that is made with leftover jelly roll strips. And then the one we're gonna make today, it's kind of selfish of me because it's one I'm making for a charity project, so I'm kind of double dipping. And it's the patriotic one. I have a good friend who does a charity quilt or blanket drive every year for a veteran organization. I'm gonna be making that quilt anyway, so I figured I'd take you along, right? So let's take a look at a block and see how it's made. Here's one example, and you can see how one side is the dark colors and this is the light. Now traditionally there is a red square in the middle, and there's a million ways to make a log cabin block, many different ways, but for this particular one we have a pink in the middle. So this is called the hearth of the home, or the center, and then you have logs like a log cabin that go around it. For my rule for this particular block was bright colors on this side and whites on this side. Let's look at another one. So for this one, it was fall colors on one side and beiges on the other. And one more, the one that we're going to be making. For this one, I wanted red and blue on one side and beiges on the other. And I could mix in some whites too. The big thing is you want that contrast. You want the dark and the light contrast. So let's talk about picking out the fabric. We want to have a nice high contrast. This is the bin I put together for the quilt that I'm making for my friend's charity, and you can see I just pulled a lot of scraps that were red, blue, and then also my backgrounds. And I have a mix, and I even have some strips that I've already cut into 2.5 inch wide strips. Now there's two different ways to make this quilt. I like one way over the other. There's probably even more than two, but let's just talk about two right now. I like to cut all of my pieces the size, the width, and the length that I need, sew them together that way. That way my square is square. I don't have anything wonky. Some people like to just put your middle square, put the next piece on top, sew it, and cut it off. I find that my pieces get very wonky and get out of shape, and I also tend to have many different size blocks. They're not all the 12.5 inch size. For me, and the way I'm going to show you today, we're going to cut all of the pieces ahead of time and then sew them together. That way, if we're a little off, we'll know it, first of all, that our 1/4 inch seam allowance might not be right. Also, we can ease things in if we need to, which we shouldn't need to, but you can if you have to make sure that that block is as square as you possibly can make it. So as you can see, I just have a bunch of different fabrics. Now this is one that might be tricky, maybe, if it's going up against something, say, kind of light, say like this one. There might not be enough contrast, so you want to pay attention to that and make sure that whatever you're putting it up against, you do have a nice contrast. All right, so let's talk about what you need for sizes to make one block. On the screen now, you'll see all of the sizes, and like I said, everything is 2.5 inches wide. You're gonna have 11 pieces in this block. You also need all of your basic sewing supplies that you'll need, like a rotary cutter, neutral thread, all of that good stuff too. And again, we're just making one block right now. On my blog, I'll have sizes for different size quilts, how many blocks that you'll need, and you'll just multiply these numbers by the amount that you need. Super easy, right? Right, we're gonna do this. Put this away and meet you back here with the pieces and show you how it's assembled. Now, if you're having trouble figuring out what colors you want to do or what you want to do, you can always draw it out on graph paper. I like to do that. Here's an example of that. You can color it in. I also have a coloring sheet that you can download too if you want, and that'll help you too, but you can always just draw it out too. Here are my pieces. So you can see that I have 5 of my lights and 6 of my darks. And I like to set them up like this. Not only do they look pretty, but it also is a good reminder that I have equal distance between these, so I know I have all the pieces I need. So if I had a big gap, say here, I'd be like, oh, I'm missing a piece for this set. So it just helps me visually. May help you too. Our first step is to sew the two 2.5-inch squares together, right sides together. So I'm going to put them right sides together and I'm going to stitch across. I like to have my paper, either my drawing or even one of the blocks already made, so I can make sure I'm going in the right configuration. Go ahead and stitch this right here using a 1/4-inch seam allowance. Be right back. Okay, I stitched this. You can see right here is the stitches. I should have probably done that in a contrasting thread, but I want to use this block in the quilt, so I didn't. But you can see that there is a neutral thread here. I'm just going to set my seams. I like to do that. You don't have to. And then I'm pressing to the dark side, just like that. All right, next we're going to go with a dark right here. And that should be the exact same size as the length of this because we cut everything correctly and we're using a 1/4-inch seam allowance. Put those right sides together just like that. And I'm going to sew a 1/4 inch right down here. Okay, here it is. I'm going to set that seam. And I'm going to roll that back. You can even finger press it and press it. And I have a really bad habit of really pressing it. You really shouldn't. You should just press down, be really good at that. I want to just get in there and go to town. But especially with scraps, it's really important not to do that because things can be off grain. So I should be better at that. All right, I'm going to turn it this way. This is the configuration. I want to keep it because as I go around, it can get really confusing on what's next. Now, I have this, this. I know my next piece is going to be right here, is going to be a light. So I'm going to take my light fabric and see how it is the exact size. I'm going to put right sides together and I'm going to stitch right along this. Okay, I'm going to set that seam. All right, so I'm going to put that and press. It's a little off. It's going to be okay. I could trim that up if I wanted to at this point, but I don't think I'm going to. It'll be okay. I said before that you're going to press to the dark. That's not always true. You're going to press to the new piece that you put on. And that's what I just did. I pressed out to that. I'm going to configure it this way, just like before. And I'm going to take another light fabric, because we're right here, and put this right sides together. Now for this one, because it is over a little bit and looks like I have a little bit of a miscut, I want to make sure that I'm sewing a 1/4 inch inside of that. I could, like I said, trim that off, but it's going to be fine. It'll be fine. All right, I'm just going to set that seam and again, press out. Now at this point, you could square this up. This should be 6.5 by 6.5. I'm not going to because it's looking pretty good. Our next piece is dark and it's going to go right here. So we are at this piece here. And I'm going to do the same thing, right sides together and stitch a 1/4 inch along that edge. Set the seam, press outward, and keep going. So our next one's over here, same thing. And that, look at that, this should be the same size, and it is. So you're just gonna keep adding as you go around. Okay, the block is all done. Here it is. I'm gonna give it one last really good press. Clip any threads that I see. And now we're gonna square it up if it needs it. So I happen to have a 12.5 inch ruler. Highly recommend if you're gonna be making any kind of scrap quilts, get the size ruler that is the size of the block. And 12.5 inches is a really good size because a lot of blocks are 12.5 inches. So what I'm gonna do is line this up, and I'm looking at, where's my point? Well, I'll use my seam ripper. I'm looking at these lines and I'm making sure everything is straight. And it is. It looks really good. And I just have a little bit to trim up. It looks like, actually not much at all. Get that straight. I have a little edge here and something over here. But what's nice is I can turn this, especially if I have a rotating mat, and I can just trim it up around the edge. You can see there's just a smidge that came off here. And I think that's it. There's a little bit at the bottom here. There you go. So it was in pretty good shape, but it's good to have your blocks the same size, obviously, from putting it all together. So I'm gonna make a few more of these. We're gonna go over to the design board. I'm gonna show you some layouts. Remember, this is basically just a half square triangle. So anything that you're going to make with half square triangles, you can also do with log cabin blocks. They're so much fun. Let's do it. Pardon this interruption. I realized when I was editing that I didn't actually show you how to do the squaring up of the block without a ruler that is the size of the block. So I wanted to give you an example of that. Now I have a ruler here. It does have some glare on it, unfortunately, but we're gonna go with it anyway. So this is one way. I turned my mat over and I know it needs to be 12.5 inches. So what I'm gonna do is line up my line. So this is the 12.5 inch mark on both sides. You can see there's a little bit over, and there's a little bit over on this side too. So I'm gonna kind of try to figure that out and make sure that my center, which for a 12.5 inch block would be 6 1/4. So my center mark should be right here, 6 1/4 right there, which it is. And then I'm just going to trim the edges. Next, I'm going to lift this up and I'm going to take this top right corner and I'm going to put it down here. So I'm going to rotate it. Now I know that this edge and this edge are straight. I'm going to line this up on the 12.5 inch mark, which there it is. And then I'll cut the other two edges. Now this one's in pretty good shape, but there's still a tiny bit that I can take off. Oh, I'm also making sure that center is in the center. And there you have it. That's a squared up 12.5 inch block. Now, if you don't have a bigger ruler, you can always use the other side of the mat, the right side. But what I want to make sure of is that the center is in the center. So you can do that many different ways by lining it up here and measuring over from the center. There's all kinds of different ways because you don't want to have a wonky block that you're going to trim part off of one side and part off of the other. So I hope this helps. All right, now to the design board. Here are 4 of the blocks. So I'm just going to show you a few variations and how much fun this really is. So the one that I usually go to is this one. I really love the way this looks, so I'm always drawn to this one, but there are so many different ways. So we could just turn these and get a totally different look. So you can see that, and you can imagine that in a whole quilt. Let's see what else. A pinwheel. So you can see that, and there's just so many different ways. And once you put them all together, it's just amazing. Now for this quilt for my friend, for the charity project, I need 24 of these blocks. But like I said before, I'll give you some more information on my blog. So if you're interested in making different sizes, it'll all be there. This would make an adorable baby quilt, be super quick and super fun, and use up a lot of those scraps. You can also use a full jelly roll if you want. You can just have a lot of fun with those. As always, I hope you have a great day. I hope you take some time to sew, and I will see you real soon. Bye.